Welcome back to another episode of the Point of Aim podcast. I'm joined with Mike Ennis and the King Byron Henry. How are you guys doing?
Good.
Great.
Yeah? Good week so far?
So far?
Good.
We're already off to a better start than last time. There was no 15-minute laughing fit, and the red light is already on.
The red light is on.
We're making progress.
All right, so this episode, we are going to talk about a few matches we shot, but more so getting into some mindset conversations. One of the questions is, why do you shoot worse than you actually are? Or why you shot worse than you actually are?
Are we jumping right off with that?
We're jumping right into it.
I'll let Byron go first.
Let me go first.
Yeah.
That's interesting. So for me, I know there's things I can pull off that I do in training, but I think that's after a long session or I've gotten warmed up. I feel like sometimes when you perform poorly in a match, if it's not mental, if it's just like the shooting and the stuff, sometimes I think sadly, I think that's your cold performance. That's your raw talent. Like, I don't know. That's the way it comes off to me. Because if you run a drill 30 times in a training session, like you're going to get that drill. But your last rep to me is not what your cold performance is going to be when you go to a match. I don't know.
That's pretty much what I probably would have said. Maybe slightly. Like if you said, what do you actually, how did you word the question?
Why do you
perform worse than you actually are?
Yes.
Like, you don't. You perform where you actually are. At least that's how I look at it in my head. Like when I go to a match and I shoot and I have 5 mics, and especially when it's a major and you're trying, it's like, well, that's just, I didn't just have a bad match. That's just how I shoot. If that wasn't how I shoot, I would have shot better.
So this is a good conversation because I actually disagree with you guys.
Yeah, excluding sometimes you have a bad day. Like I could say you have a bad day. There's exceptions to rules.
But I'm saying, okay, so my brain goes to how do you shoot like a savant, right? One day, and 3 weeks later, you shoot at the same place, same time, whatever, but then you just have a absolute dumpster fire of a match.
I'll have to shoot a match like a savant one of these days, and then I'll let you know.
You're the GM here, right? I kind of relate it to golfing a little bit. It's like you have a really good hole or like a really good day that kind of draws you back. So I actually compare some of that conversation to a little bit of Steve Anderson's mindset stuff, any of us as shooters have gotten in our own way mentally, and we've had bad performances sometimes because of just thinking about it too much.
Well, but that's a slightly different question, right? Like you're kind of going into how do you cope with sucking, not do you suck or not suck.
Yeah, but so if you can shoot at a GM level and shoot classifiers at a GM level, but then you go to a major and have an A-class performance,
But how do you know if your performance was A-class? Because it's tough to just look in our sport to look at the game and the results, right? Because just because I finished 75% doesn't mean I shot A-class, right? Like I could have shot the best match I've ever shot and it'd been a GM performance, but someone else just happened to shoot a ridiculously good match, and that lowered my score
to 75%.
Right? I could have still had a very good match and shot 75%, or I could win the match and have a shit match. I don't know if I'm supposed to say that.
But have you ever done that? Have you ever shot the worst match of your life and won the major?
No, not at a major.
Okay.
I mean, you could do that. You could shoot some fairly bad club matches and win.
Well,
but that's different.
Yeah, that's totally different.
And I was thinking of it more of if you go to at match after match and you're shooting at roughly the same thing, you're not just always having a bad match. That's just where you're at. You can have random good matches. You might do really well sometimes or really bad, out of the ordinary.
So then that goes back to the comment that you made of well, if I go to a match and shoot 5 mics, that's just where I'm at. And
Yeah.
I would say that might be where you are at that day. But like everybody sitting in this room, and I'm sure even people watching, can go to the range and not shoot mics, right? Like, and can probably do it in a match setting as well. But there are those days where you just have a lot of mics.
Right.
So, what say you on that?
So are you talking more of the mental aspect? Because I can see like you have the skill or the facility to shoot a certain level, but mentally some days you're thrown off. Is that what you're getting at? Like, because I mean I know the mental aspect of it can be a lot. I mean, just like when even if you go to the Steve Anderson or whoever you want to talk about, but like if you see the no shoot and you tell yourself don't shoot the no shoot, don't shoot the no shoot, and then all of a sudden you get to that target, you get in that stage, and then first thing you do is shoot the no shoot because you're staring at the no shoot. That's mental. Like, you shot where you were looking. Like, so I mean it's still your shooting ability, but mentally you're just not checked in where you need to be. I don't know if that's
Okay.
I don't know.
That's fair, I guess. Yeah, I know like there's been specific matches where I've air quote like been in my own head to the point where like I did not shoot the ability in which I know I can shoot. You know, because of whatever. Like I overcomplicated it, overpressurized the situation, whatever that like looks like. But there's been matches that I've shot that like you take that same match any other day when like I'm on air quote my game.
Mid-Atlantic.
I got a trophy.
I just think that would hit me like, I don't know if I like when I looked at the results of that, I'm like, I don't even know if I can count this. Like, did I just suck today or was the rain too much of a factor?
That
I just pretend that match didn't happen.
yeah, that's like in my opinion like the one-off stuff. You know, but I'm thinking even like some majors where like for whatever reason you go to and you care a little too much. Like, you know what I mean? Like that battle on that, like you got to care, but then also like you kind of got to not care too much to where like it throws you off, if that makes sense.
But isn't that still you as a shooter?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's like, I still have the ability to shoot
Right.
at a higher level in which I shot that day is what I'm saying.
I got
And
you.
I think Byron touched on something too that a lot of people might trick themselves into where they're at based on how you perform in practice. And like you could do like people go practice the classifier for the week and then get to where like, oh, I can GM this thing, and then they go shoot a B class because well you didn't shoot it 30 times in a row. You might have a false sense of like where you're actually at because like where you're warmed up in practice is different than being cold.
Yeah,
'Cause
100 I
every
agree
stage
with
is
that.
cold basically.
Yeah.
I don't know who it was. It was maybe Joyce Ireland or somebody. When they were talking about how they practice and what they did was build a stage and shot the stage cold as you would in a match. Like they may have practiced their draw or something, but they went and just shot the stage that they built cold and see what their performance was and then start nicking away at things. And I'm like, if you're doing that in practice, yeah, you're going to, by the end of it, be an all-star. But how you shot it cold, the, 1.2 hit factor, that's probably what you're going to do in a match sometimes.
Yeah, that's probably the most important run of the day is
Yeah.
the first one.
Yeah.
Figuring out where you're at.
Well, we won't talk about our last live training practice.
It went really well. I don't know what you're talking about. I learned a lot from all those misses and no shoots.
Well, I like Eric Graffel's approach too, and like just talking about practice for a second. Like he won't shoot any stage twice. Like
Okay.
he'll set a stage up, shoot it, and then change aspects of it and shoot it again. I think that kind of helps. But like as far as like, and maybe this is a 2-part question, because I know like personally I've started to implement treating local matches as major matches, right? Like obviously they're not, but like more on the mindset side of things, going into that match with the mindset that, treating it like it's nationals to build whatever anxiety or pressure or whatever comes with that. And I think that helps a little bit, as far as like long term, I'll know more, this time next year probably on it, but.
And I went the complete opposite. I treat locals as practice now, and I feel like for me, it works out better. I don't know if it's because
Your shooting works out better, or what works out better?
everything, the match just works out better.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if it's just because I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do and trying to implement new things, and it's working, or I don't know what the
Some
reason
of it
for the result is, but it seems to be working better.
Yeah, if I had to guess, it's probably because where like you have that like I don't care attitude, so you're just shooting in your subconscious versus like being really intentional.
Right.
What I'm trying to induce is like being able to control like outside of just like whatever my like natural skill is, because like if I get super amped up or super nervous, and now that changes how I shoot a match because I'm like overly worked up like mentally or internally, then that's what I'm trying to work on controlling, right? And using locals matches to do that, because obviously you can only shoot so many majors in a month.
Yeah.
So
I've done it both ways, I think. Like, and lately, the last couple matches, I've been doing more like Byron and kind of playing around a little bit and seeing what I can do. But like Friday, I'm going to shoot, and since Phil's going to let us shoot 2 divisions, I'm going to probably try to take that seriously with the goal in both times I shoot of like beating my other self. And then, when I run it the second time, beating my first score, whatever it is. Like, I don't really care about everybody else. It's like, it's going to be how my 2 runs with 2 different guns compare to each other.
yeah, I think that makes sense. I think that'll be, because I'm kind of doing the same thing, but it's also an all classifier match, so it doesn't really matter like what everybody else does.
It's not even a real match,
No.
in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, you really literally are shooting against yourself at that point.
Right.
I mean, in one division, I'm going to shoot LO. Like, I can't, like, the classifiers don't matter.
Yeah,
But
are you
I
shooting
just
that
wanna
first?
I might alternate. I don't know I haven't decided what the best way to do it is. Do I chase with the LO gun, or do I just alternate to, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what would make it harder.
So I was. This is like getting off topic.
Oh, yeah, I forgot what the topic
Naturally.
was.
But when Phil messaged about like, well, what 2 divisions you want to shoot? And I was like, I'll just shoot LO twice. Like, obviously not.
He should have
but-
just let you do it so that it would average them all together, and they would all suck. Unless you did equally good twice, and then.
It's all right, because if I shoot Southerville Saturday, there's a couple of the same classifiers. So
Oh, and then I'll just wipe them out anyway.
You were able to get into Sudlersville?
yeah.
You don't get into
You just show
Southerville. You
up.
just show up.
All right. Anyways, back to
just go. If you want to shoot, just go.
that's fair.
It's like, yeah.
My wife's coming with me too, so if you need a ride, let me know. All right, so kind of back onto the mindset conversation. I guess this is a good question for somebody that might be watching and is shooting, maybe whatever major that year. They have a bad stage, right? Like I'm like a dumpster fire of a stage. What do you guys do to recover from a dumpster fire stage on the mental side of things?
Since I made Byron go first, I'll go first, I guess. Like, first I pout for a minute. But then I'm like, well, whenever I mess up a stage, the next stage I always crush, so it doesn't matter. And then that's it. Like, that's not like it sounds like a Steve Anderson thing where you're like, I'm just going to tell myself I'm really good after, but I just at some point did well after a bad stage, and then it kind of stuck to whenever I do, I just tell myself like, oh yeah, I'm going to do good next stage. Stage win, here we go.
Do you think that you do better the next stage because you've now, like, some of the pressure is gone?
Possible.
You know what I mean?
It could be some of that. It could be a little bit of like anger or frustration with yourself, and then you dial it up. Steve Anderson or Lady Basher might say it's some of your like self-image, saying like, I'm better than this, so you'll start picking it up from that. I don't know which one it is, but generally I will do better the next stage at least.
Yeah. So I laugh because like we all took the Steve Anderson class together. Every time we talk about it, I always think about the soapy fingers.
Do you want to explain what the
No, because I don't even remember what it was in reference to.
I do, but I'm not explaining it.
I just will never forget that of the entire class. But I will say one of the big nuggets that I think legit does help is revisualizing the stage properly. Like afterwards. Like for whatever reason of just having that time after you shot, whether it was good, bad, or whatever, you can still revisualize and do all the things right that you wanted to. And like I know like there's some whatever, not witchcraft, but like some woo stuff behind some of that stuff. But I do think that helps to like almost reset my brain a little bit of like, crap, that really sucked. But now I need to focus on, the task at hand. I can't help what I just did, but what I can do is like, I guess, make the positive imprint.
Yeah, and I like that too. I want to get better at also doing it when I have good stages, but I usually don't remember. And it doesn't help that it seems like at most of the matches locally, as soon as you get done, it's like, well, now you got to go grab the timer because you don't have a lot of time for that.
Yeah, and we've kind of talked about it probably off camera, but I do think that changing from like shooting or trying to shoot like every weekend, like a local or like whatever, and going to, picking like one or two. Generally for me right now, it's like one, and trying to make that one local match that month like that major mindset,
right?
If that makes sense. I feel like it's helping. Obviously there's like live fire practice in between, dry fire and some different stuff that I'm doing as well. But I do think that helps a little bit because when you show up to a local match and it's not just like your home range and like, you're still hanging out, goofing off or whatever, like doing what you do, but treating the shooting aspect like being intentional about doing your walkthrough, being intentional about visualizing, and more so than just showing up and like, oh, well, whatever happens. And then, so that's something I think has been helping me a little bit. But anyways. All right. So.
Wait, did Byron tell us what he does at the end of a bad stage?
Well, he just kind of shook his head and like.
He's like, I don't have bad stages. What are you talking about?
There's no such thing. It just wipes out. No, I mean, now I can handle it better. Before, I would just harp on it the whole match. And then it would just drag on. But now what I do, it's like if I have a bad stage, I'll visualize the stage over. And most of the time, like, I tell myself, well, you had a mic here, but at least you called it. I don't know if that's the right way to do it, but there was a stage, was it Saturday at Bridgeville? Was that the one per stage in the beginning? I think.
Mm-hmm. That was our first stage, yeah.
One per. It was like, boom, I shot the barrel. I knew it was a mic. I didn't make it up, but at the end of the stage, I was like, okay, I called that mic. Like, that was one thing I did. I called my shot properly. I knew where the gun came from. Like, so I try to just take whatever the bad was. And
I think in that specific situation, you were kind of like moving out of the position.
Right.
So it could be argued that it might not make sense to like try to move all the way back to make that up.
Right.
Although with the scoring system in that game, it probably did.
Yeah, for GPA, it's probably worth, especially if you call the mic and hear it hit the barrel.
Yeah.
Because we all heard it hit the barrel.
Yeah,
right. And I think like I've gotten better too. Maybe it's because I'm old. They're like, when I have a bad stage, it takes more for my brain to even say that it's a bad stage. Like a mic's probably not going to do it. And it might even take a couple of mistakes before it piles on to the point where I'm like, that sucked. And when I have something go wrong, it doesn't really bother me as much as it used to.
That's good.
It still bothers me. I'm not gonna say it doesn't bother me, but like I can have a mic in it now, especially if like Byron said, like if I call it, like some of them bother me more. It depends on how it happened. Like if it's a thing where like I knew I missed and I didn't fix it and I could have, that bothers me. Like there could be two mics on a stage and only one of them bother me. If that makes any sense.
Yeah. So what bothers you more? Is it the one you call and didn't make up, or the one you thought was a good hit?
It's usually the one I called and didn't do anything about, or like. If I call it and I'm leaving and it's like, shit, I missed that. I hope I didn't miss that kind of thing. That's not as bad as when I'm shooting and it's like, I don't think that hit it. Like, why didn't I do something about that?
Yeah. And there's, no reason that any of us sitting here, even if you're watching at home, should allow yourself to shoot mics. Like,
Right.
really. I mean, not you, Mike.
you
Like,
do
we
it-
don't want to
yeah.
shoot you.
Ideally, we wouldn't shoot me.
But if we did.
Right.
No, but like the amount of time that it takes to adjust your dot to where it needs to be out on the target
Is an eternity and never worth doing.
is, or at least that's how it feels.
Right.
But it's like, it is crazy how like we will send a shot that we know isn't right just because we feel like it's faster,
Yeah.
but not because it actually.
And then
is
you'll
faster.
leave because you don't have time to fix it.
Exactly.
But you do, and we know that that's not helping our score, but you'll still like, I'm more worried about going on. Like, screw that shot. It's in the past. I'm moving on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So another question is, what's the biggest mental mistake that we see competitors make? This is a good question.
Why don't we let you start off then?
Sure. I think it's two-part. I don't think it's just mental mistakes, but I think it's a physical thing that affects you mentally, and I'll explain. I think the number one thing I see people make outside of like fundamentals of, just holding the gun and reloads and all that is not visualizing enough on the stage. Like during their walkthrough, outside, like while they're waiting to shoot, especially when you shoot even some of the GPA majors that are, and even some USPSA majors down south that are full staff reset. And the fact that like people will walk it, or they'll like, if they do visualize, they'll kind of run through it real quick. And like, it's like, dude, like there's no way you're going to even shoot it that fast. Like, why are you running through it that fast?
Right.
And I think because of that, it has a direct impact on their mental game during the match. Because I see people that rush through the walkthrough that all of a sudden in the middle of the stage forget where a target is, or forget to reload where they wanted to. And I think it's legitimately just because they were not consciously thinking about it during their visualizing process.
So, when you asked the question, the first thing that came into my head was visualization. I debated a little bit as to whether that was the right direction with the answer, but I don't know what other mental thing I can see someone do other than how they walk a stage and how they air gun it, which is kind of related to their visualization. And yeah, it's the same stuff. It's like you could tell that they're rushed. They're like not doing stuff realistically. Like, you probably ought to just watch the good people and just do what they do. Like, and if you look at them, they're all going to be they're generally really serious looking about the walkthrough and how they air gun it and how they move through the stage during their 3 minutes. Just do that until you figure out why we're doing it.
Or just ask. You could just ask.
Not everybody wants to ask people questions.
That's good. That's fair. But you could just come take a class.
Fake it until you make it.
Come take a class and then you'll learn. Like,
Yeah. Yeah. The walkthrough, you can see. I mean, I've watched people do a walkthrough and they're on a target for 1/10 of a second. And I'm like, holy smokes, if you're going to shoot it that fast, you're a bad man. And then you see them and they blast past the whole position. And then when they shoot the stage, they blast past that position or have to run back because they started to blast past it. And I feel like they just, maybe they don't understand the proper way.
Yeah, they don't know exactly what you're doing when you do it. I mean, I don't like watching people like walk through a stage and like shoot a whole bunch of stuff on the move, and pretty quickly, and you're like, you're gonna shoot those on the move, yeah.
you're going to shoot a 40-yard partial. On the
And then
move.
usually they stop, but like
Yeah.
it's interesting to watch like what the walkthrough looks like versus what the actual shooting looks like.
Yeah.
And I also see that in my own videos.
No wonder you have so many mics. 40-yard partials.
I
while
learned
running.
everything the hard way.
Yeah. Well, and we also just came off of teaching a class this past weekend that was really around stages and, shooting matches. And we shot a match, with the guys in the class. And something that we were kind of talking about, which we had an awesome group of guys in that class. And it was a really fun day to spend time with everybody and educate. Just the stuff that guys were taking away was really good. But like some of the stuff we were talking about is like, even during that walkthrough, being super intentional, right? Like, it's funny but like one of the guys was like really like dipping his hands down when he could just like move, you know, his gun straight across. You know, he was like kind of dropping it and then lifting it back up. And, you know, when you do that in a walkthrough, you're like building those habits. So you're going to do it when it's live fire, right? And then sure enough, it was like it happened right after. And after even saying something too. And it wasn't necessarily his fault. It's just you constantly do the bad thing over and over again. And if you don't have somebody to like correct it, you just keep doing the bad thing. And then you're like, well, how am I losing all this time in a match? And so I do think that, you know, to answer... And I don't know if it's necessarily the biggest mistake for the mental aspect, but I definitely think it's like, you know, up there is not being properly prepared mentally for the stage. So there's no point in which you should shoot a stage and not know where every target is. So, and if you like, I gave the example this weekend at the class is like, if you can't close your eyes and imagine that entire stage in your brain, then you don't know it well enough from a mental aspect. Would you guys agree with that?
I do. And something Byron mentioned about like why people don't do a better job of it. I kind of got thinking about like when I started, and I think some of it is probably like you're a little bit embarrassed, right? Like, it should feel silly when you think about what we do. Like, you look like an idiot standing up there like pointing your hands at targets and going pew pew or whatever. Like, not everybody makes sounds, but like it seems silly. And when you're new, you're going to feel silly doing it until you have done it enough and you don't care what other people think.
Yeah.
You know, like if you went and pretended to do that stuff in the middle of the mall, like everyone would look at you like you're a lunatic.
Yeah. This is very true. But what looks better? Doing that silly stuff so then when you perform it well on the stage.
Oh, yeah, I'm not saying don't do it. I'm saying you've got to you got to suck it up and look silly and do the air gunning thing. But I think when you start off, it's a little bit of that. Yeah,
no, I agree. I definitely think like, especially for like the new guys, 6 months and in, you know, it's weird. First off, it's weird showing up to a match and people have wagons and like match jerseys and like at like a local match, you know, let alone
$10,000 guns.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
They do that?
And I'm just trying to show up in my, you know, my G19 and a T-Rex Arms holster. Are they still in business?
I don't know.
I saw they released a new holster.
Oh, nice.
It's like a level 3 or something. I don't know. It's got like the
I don't know. And then you go to your first stage and you got a bunch of guys like the Three Blind Mice,
right?
Air gunning around. So it can be intimidating. I get that. But if you're new to shooting and you're watching this or listening, just jump into it. Yeah. Just get into the
like you're embarrassed because you feel like everyone's watching you act silly, but really like no one cares because we're all acting silly ourselves. And we're all probably more worried about ourselves than we are somebody else. So no one's really watching you.
Yeah. Well, and I think I would venture to say that most people that are shooting the match want to do, you know, shoot it well, right, for them wherever they are. So it's like, if it's me, I'm going to be more worried about my match than what you're doing.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, like everyone's worried about themselves. You know, I'm worried about you getting out of my way so I can do my silly air gun.
Yeah.
It's almost weird if you don't do air gunning now.
Yeah, I've changed the way I did my walkthrough, actually. Used to, I would try to figure out my stage plan instantly, but now I will literally walk through the first time and count the targets or count the shots. Because before I wasn't doing that. Like, I would just go and try to figure out a plan. Now I walk through one time, figure out where every target is, and sometimes I learn I need to walk around the actual stage and see. And then I start figuring out the air gun and stuff.
It's crazy you just now figured that out.
I just now figured that out.
It's like how to shoot stages 101.
Listen,
how many rounds are there on this stage?
I say that, but then like
we've all done it.
Yeah, like at Billy's match last week, it was like someone said there's 36 rounds on this stage. It's like, okay, so I found 36 rounds, and it's like, how do I plan? And then Billy reads the thing. He's like, there's 38 rounds. It's Billy, so you don't believe him, right? So I ignored that information for a good half the walkthrough, and I was like, wait, he's not kidding. I'm missing a target somewhere.
Yeah.
I found it. It's fine.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Rule number 1: find out the round count.
Yeah.
And hope it's right on the paper. That's the problem.
Yeah, but like you said, if you walk around the outside of a stage and count targets, like for the most part, because there's been a bunch of times where like I thank the Lord that I did not shoot first, because I like hear somebody shooting, you just hear ding. I'm like, they're stealing this stage. Like that happened at Mid Atlantic. I was like, where's that steal?
I think that stage that Mike was talking about, Mike was downrange and like, where can you see this target from?
Yeah, because I went back there because I saw it from the front. I was like, where do you see that from? And then I went and stood behind it. I was like, I can't see fault line anywhere. And then Byron like leaned out from the side. It was like, okay, now we got it.
That's how we should start designing stages. Just put random targets out there to where it's like you just get 2 mics and a penalty, but like you can't shoot it from
What if
anywhere.
we put an IDPA target up? And it's not part of the stage.
Just have it.
And it's not in the tablet. There's just one target behind a wall that you can't actually see.
People would be pissed, but it would be hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even shoot this. Why is it here? And it's an IDPA target. Oh, man. Talking about walkthrough and stuff, I would say another top thing that I see is people rushing through their make ready. Now I'm not saying take 5 minutes or whatever, but it's also okay to like get yourself ready, and not just like throw your mag in the gun, load it, holster it. It's like, I'm good. If you're not actually good, there's a reason that the question is, are you ready? And when you shake your head or whatever, like you should be ready. And I
definitely want to be ready at range time if you say you're ready.
Are you ready? Beep. Yeah, I saw some of those. But with that being said, I feel like when you get to the line, like re-walking or trying to like re-visualize the whole stage, at that point, in my opinion, like you should already have it down.
Right.
And like during your make ready, it should be like making sure like your dot's on, your gun's loaded, like where you need to go, where you need to reload, and like it's time to go. I don't think that like you need to take the 25-minute make ready. Like at that point it's like you're not ready. Like it's whatever's gonna happen is gonna happen. So
yeah, and I've shifted mine. Like my make ready is pretty short now, and I generally won't imagine the stage again. It's just load the gun. I don't take a sight picture on the target. If I do start taking sight pictures, I'm probably just wasting time. Like either to settle myself down just a little bit, because I have at times I can like get myself too amped up during like the couple minutes you get while they're resetting before you, and I'll be like, I need to calm down or catch my breath, or
I got to do that anyways.
I just changed my plan or something, and I want to visualize it once more. But usually I don't.
Yeah. So when I make ready, I don't necessarily always have to like aim at the target, but like I'll at least get a sight picture, whether it's on the ground or at the base of the target or whatever, or on the target, and then I'll like know where each target is. And up until the point where I'm going to reload, and then that's when I actually load the gun, and then I'll holster, and I'll just kind of look at the spots where I need to be, and then I'm like ready. But it takes like 20 seconds, maybe 30. It's not long. It's not even probably that long. It probably just feels that long when I do it, but I don't know. I've never been one to like stand up there, kind of same point of like, let me spend 5 minutes like doing my nails and hair and braiding my beard. Like Quasey. I had to look right at the camera just in case he watches.
He does have a long make ready.
Yeah. And he's going to probably call me after he watches this. And
does he actually watch these?
Yeah. Oh. Sometimes. All right. So talking about vision, talking about mental stuff, mindset, what are some practical drills to work on vision that any shooter or every shooter should be working on?
Go to the eye doctor annually. That's what I do. So, but I used to not go every year, so this year I'm going to go because I feel like I'm straining my eyes more when I'm reading. So I'm probably going to start going to the eye doctor every year now.
That is a good drill to follow.
Yeah.
What about a shooting drill?
Or shooting drill for vision? I don't know.
I want to start working on the. You're talking about like your. Like I want to start working on that. What's it called? The accelerator drill.
Okay. Where they're like different distances.
Yeah, I want to start working on that because I find myself like I think my eyes don't lead like they should, or for some reason, hopefully this isn't a thing. My eyes will lock onto the wrong spot, which happened to me Saturday when I was shooting at one target. It was the last one on that stage where you shot the left side and shot the right side, or vice versa. The last target, I was aiming at the head box, but my eyes were looking to the left of the head box, and every shot I sent went to the left of the head box, and I just could not move my eyes or the gun back to the head box for some reason. So I want to work on something like that, I guess, to help me move my eyes to a spot and then shoot that spot. I don't know if that's going to help or not, but that's where I start.
My first thought kind of went to like doing any kind of transition drill.
Yeah.
But you can also like do it by like just pointing your finger to almost and like allowing your eyes to like lead in front of where you're pointing.
Yeah.
Because that's where most people will either like overshoot the target or they start to like shoot when they see brown versus like, center of target. Or it's like the gun will run past the target and then they'll bring it back because generally it's like their eyes and gun are kind of going at the same time. So the gun doesn't have a chance to slow down before it actually hits the spot. Where like if your eyes are leading that transition, then you have a split second to like slow the gun down to get where it needs to go. Something I do is more of like a dry fire drill where I will basically do transitions, but I'll use like a paster or something really small, and you can do it without actually having a gun out, but literally just letting your eyes shift back and forth. And this is going to sound super nerdy, but I was watching an eye doctor or what's the dude called? An ocular scientist. That's a joke for people that might know. But he was actually talking about, and I want to say it was like with JJ Racaza or something, but like it made a lot of sense. And they like hooked equipment up and stuff, but where like the eye is like a muscle and you still have to like work it out, which is kind of crazy to even like think about. But he basically had him like doing that, like shifting back and forth. It was like a pen tip and like a couple different exercises. But you can actually see like when he brought up the data of like how your eyes tracked and all that kind of stuff. It was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I think like I don't do any specific eye drills really, but generally like when I'm dry firing, I'm working on transitions with everything I do pretty much. And then you just pay attention to, am I seeing the target before the dot is coming into my vision? Then I know my eyes are ahead of the gun. And I'm like, how does it end up on the target? Do I overshoot it or not? Like, I just try to pay attention to what I'm doing with all of my dry fire, and that kind of becomes the vision, but I don't necessarily have a specific vision routine or vision drill.
Yeah, I don't necessarily either. I'm not like waking up like
right.
It's just maybe I do wake up like that.
So I watched I think it was Joel Park, maybe him and another guy were talking about like a guy asked, is it better to buy 2,000 rounds of ammo or like meta glasses or hat cam or something like that?
Glasses for sure, meta glasses.
And one of the
gun,
one of the,
get a new gun.
One of the things that
an $8,000 gun.
Yeah.
One of the things they said was like with the meta glasses, you can actually check on your vision, because if you see the target before your gun comes, like that means like, especially if it's a wide transition, I guess he was saying that you kind of like led the gun to that target, opposed to like swinging the gun and then looking.
Yeah, sometimes like regular hat cams make that look funny. I think it's like the stability stuff. It'll like look like you're pulling off your eyes off too early. and you might not be. I don't know. I see weird stuff in some hat cam videos.
But he was a big fan of the metas. I don't know the guy's name. He was with Joel Park. It was a little short video.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I'm trying to come up with excuses to get the meta glasses that would make my wife think it's a good idea, so that it's not just to shoot videos at shooting. Like, just think I could take a picture of the kids just by looking at them.
I mean, you can translate with them.
That seems really useful, actually.
Especially
at my jobs, like, potentially, yeah.
I want to get them, but I need like a wider frame. My head's so big.
Yeah,
I believe it.
The ones I have are like, if they're like, I have a melon as well, but the ones I have are borderline tight, which is why I don't wear them.
If you just wear them long enough, you'll get like a dent in the side of your head. It doesn't matter. if you have a big head.
I want them to make the ones where the goggles like snip apart, like the magnet. Oh man. All right. This is probably close to the last question. What do you guys do, and myself, to prepare the week of a major match?
Nothing.
Okay, really good food.
I try to drink extra water if it's hot, right, the couple days before. And but most major matches, I don't do anything different than normal. If it's like something really big, I might ramp up, like whatever my big match for the year is, I might ramp up my live fire a little bit. Like, instead of just shooting 100 rounds in practice, maybe I'll shoot 2 or 3 that week.
Spicy. So I agree. Like, I don't necessarily do anything different training wise, but I would say, like, depending on when or where and what the match is, I may do, some different stuff like the weeks before. Like, if I know that, for example, like if I'm going to fly out to Texas and shoot a major, and I know, and it's a slight time difference, so it's probably not a big deal, but it's like I may want to start changing my sleep routine a little bit to be ready for that time shift, especially for, I would say more so for guys where you're like legit changing like time zones. Like an hour or two is probably not a big deal, and that's probably like a small thing. But I did find it interesting, like some guys would, if they knew that like they were going to shoot a major, they would actually go train. Like if the place that they were going to shoot the major was like really cold, they would start to go to really cold climates and shoot locals, which I feel like that's probably a little extreme.
That's probably extreme.
But
I have in the past, there was a time I would go, if it was close enough, I would try to shoot a club match at the club the major was at.
Like Antolani.
Yeah. Like before I shot my first major at Antolani, I went and shot a club match there, I'm pretty sure. I know I did for Fredericksburg and a few other places, even though it was a hall. Just to you get familiar and you get a little more comfortable, you'll be a little bit more relaxed come match day.
Yeah, that's the other thing too. That's a good point to bring up, is if you haven't shot at the match before, and you can definitely, but even down I would say to like match hotel or Airbnb or whatever, to where you're kind of like you're used to where you're going. It's something else you don't have to like stress about, especially if you're like flying somewhere, and then it's like if you're freaking out about the hotel or whatever it is, like that stuff can like all, I would say, probably play a hindrance a little bit on your match performance.
Make sure the driver has the right address.
That's big when you're riding with Ben, especially.
That's definitely something I need to change the week before. Make sure I have it in the GPS ready to go 5 days out. That's funny. So the one thing we haven't really talked about is food.
This is true. I haven't had any good food.
No?
Since the last one. I don't think so. I had good food.
I made some French onion soup this past weekend.
Nice.
It was good. Nice. So I was supposed to start it Saturday after our class, but I was baked after being in the sun all day.
Yeah.
And so I didn't start it. but I made some Sunday, and when I tell you it was good, well, Byron, you've had my suit.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
It's good.
It's good.
It is good.
It's better than like a lot of restaurants.
It is.
Because I order that out a lot, and it sucks at a lot of places. Anyways, I just had to put some plug in there about food because what's a Point of Aim podcast without something?
I went to Delmar Pizza and got some lasagna the other night. That's pretty good. I like lasagna. I eat it like once every 3 years.
And you didn't bring any?
Yeah, it was after the range time match. I think. Yeah, it was after the range time match. So Delmar Pizza was open, so I just stopped in there and went home. I don't know what to say.
Just to kind of close out, you guys have shot a few matches at range time now. How did this last match go? I wasn't able to be there, but
You want to go first?
It doesn't matter. I can.
somebody go.
So the matches, those guys are learning. You know, they don't have a lot of competition experience, so there's going to be kinks and things they have to work out. But one thing was interesting, and Mike has brought it up, is everybody helped reset at that match. Like every single person, like was pacing.
Yeah, like
and
well,
resetting.
walking back, there was just no one. Like when you turn around and look back and like up where all your stuff is, there's just no one there.
Yeah,
You had to like race to pace targets because
Yeah.
someone was pasting them all.
yeah.
Like that doesn't happen around here.
That's because they listened to our last podcast.
I don't know.
They all knew what it was.
Yeah, I don't know. But the matches, I mean, you know, it's pretty cool. It was definitely Sunday was definitely fun, or seemed fun to me. I don't know.
I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Honestly, it gets outlaw, so there's not like exact rules. Like you said, they don't really know competition. But they're doing a pretty good job for not knowing basically anything.
Yeah.
Like I keep thinking of it like comparing to Salisbury's first 2 or 3 matches. Like they're light years ahead. Like they're probably at like skipping all the way to like year 2 or 3 of Salisbury at their first match.
Yeah.
But they still have a long ways to go, I think. And the stages were fun. I added a target to one of the stages because like there was like steel on the bay because there's like the rifle range, like the steel in the back. I was just like, I'm gonna add one of those pieces of steel in the middle of my stage.
So it didn't
Just
have to
because, and then everyone kind of tried it
Yeah.
and didn't go as well.
That's the best is when you like change something, everybody like freaks out.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good. I think, of course, Mike won. Looking at the results,
I hadn't seen the results yet, so
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Mike won.
It's probably because I wasn't there.
Maybe.
Probably.
Maybe. Yeah, he gapped second place, but I think I was 83%.
Were you second place?
Yep.
Nice. Congratulations.
Yep. I think Mike had a malfunction or something, and I think I won a stage, so that's even better.
Nice.
Yeah.
I did. I had one malfunction, but you probably won. Did you win the last stage?
Maybe.
Which I didn't have a malfunction on that one. I did try to shoot the 50-yard piece of steel again. And,
that's what it
and then I like missed it, and I used up my last couple rounds in the mag without making up the shot on like the 30-yard swinger we put out there. Even though I knew I was like, I need one for that. I'm gonna shoot this piece of steel. Oops, that was a bad idea.
Yeah.
But I was playing it. It was fun,
It was
and
fun.
I was gonna see if I could hit it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? Why not?
And they didn't have a problem with you hitting the stage. You know, it's just,
Yeah, I didn't care.
yeah. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. And then we shot Bridgeville as well.
Yes.
That was hot.
It was.
It was.
But I thought it was.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Like it was, especially like they said, they set the stages up kind of simple because of the heat.
Yeah.
Well, and
You
the
know,
air
like,
quality.
And the air quality.
Yeah.
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 The smog of death that was looming over Delmarva.
Yeah, that was the class match, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I think, like, for our aspect, it's always going to be harder to, like, you know, because you got 5 or 6 guys on your squad that you're teaching a class to. Like, so you're working with them.
Right.
And, like, you know, your focus going there is, like, yes, it's like we're here to shoot, but it's like the bigger focus is we're here to teach people,
Yeah.
you know, skills and stuff, too. I definitely, like, shooting that match, like, this was not in my opinion, like a local match to shoot. It was like more for going as an instructor and helping the students. And, so like mentally, like I was like, even all the stuff we just talked about in this podcast, like it wasn't there, but it's because it was a totally different aspect. So, I mean, I still was like, walking through and like trying to do the stuff, but like during walkthrough times, you're kind of like, you're talking about the dude who just shot and what he can adjust and some different things. So you're not able to like focus on your own shooting. But it's also like,
my goal, like walking stages, was more to just figure out what they probably should be doing, so I can make sure they're doing it.
Yeah,
and not memorizing what I need to do.
Yeah. And I definitely, ironically, the match was set up in a way. Everything was pretty cut and dry. Like there wasn't anything crazy. Like no weird memory stage or nothing. Where you physically have to look at it a bunch of times because otherwise you're going to miss a target. So that I think that aspect helped, and it seemed to flow pretty quick. I mean, we got done about 11:30, which was nice, and then jump right into the class portion stuff. So it was good, and shout out to the guys who showed up to that. I mean, I think like I said, we had a good group, and everybody seemed to take a lot away from it. So that's always good to hear. So. Cool. You guys have anything else on match performance or mindset for matches or anything like that?
Not off the top of my head.
Yeah. Cool. I think the big takeaway that I would leave everybody with is if you're not, and this is something else actually, leading up to major matches that we probably should have put in the week before, is trying to get to that match the day before to walk stages.
I don't even know what that's like.
We've tried to in every major this year.
Are you allowed to do that at the IPSC Nationals that you guys?
You can't walk pre-walk stages.
But
you can go watch.
You could theoretically go and watch the pre-match people shoot, like the staff guys shoot to get an idea.
We'll probably get there 20 minutes before we gotta shoot.
Right.
No.
It's kind of a common theme.
Yeah. But just some takeaways that I would say is like whether it's a local match that you're treating like a major or if it's a actual major match, make sure you're walking stages, make sure you're doing your allotted walkthrough time, make sure you're focusing, on the visualizing aspect of the match and of the stage. And if you shoot the whole match and you can't go back to stage 2 and remember what everything was, you probably didn't visualize it enough. So, but anyways, that will close out this episode of the Point of Aim podcast. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Be sure to subscribe, to like, to comment. That shows that you guys care and we appreciate it. It makes us keep doing these fun podcasts. Which this was more educational, so it was good. It's good.
Next time, I'll make sure to eat more food between now and the next one.
Yep. Could you please? Yeah. All right. We'll see you guys on the next one.